Welcome to Making a Difference with Gail. Today I'm honored to have three very special guests. I have Joanne Hutchins. Some people might know her from Moms Who Kick. Some people know her as a fitness instructor or black karate expert. And in addition to that, I know her as my new friend. I also will have today Greg Bravo. And Greg Bravo has been involved in the military and police work for over 30 years. And he, too, has 2 black belts. And finally, I have Sergeant Patrick LaPointe, who received the Bronze Medal of Valor. And he's going to share all of that with us. So when we come back, we're going to meet my friend Joanne Hutchins and hear all about her. Be right back.
Hey, I'm Tom Mealy from the Harrison Law Group. You know, soft tissue injury, that's no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. Don't waste valuable time going to firms who don't get it and can't do it. Call 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC.
The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
Ray, I don't know. Are you sure clicking this thing will get us online?
Well, try dragging it.
Faster. You're just a mouse click away from a better way to rent movies. Blockbuster Total Access. Movies through the mail plus movies through the store. One low price.
Here's the problem. We forgot to plug it in.
Oh! Don't even think about it! Get a free trial at your Blockbuster store or Blockbuster.com.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
This is Beth.
Hi.
Oh, congratulations. When are you due?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, look at that. Excuse me.
You're totally thin.
You look very sexy.
For life's bleachable moments, all it takes is 3/4 of a cup.
Welcome back. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Gail.
Joanne and I have been seeing each other quite a bit lately. As a matter of fact, we saw each other last night at the Long Island Press Fortune 52 in Deer Park. And we were there to watch different women being honored. And that's how I met you, actually, Joe.
Yeah, it was back in 2011.
2 years ago, I met you when you were being honored. And it was so inspirational last night. You know, we're all about that. But I have to ask you something. You have inspired so many. What I'd like to know is, who's inspired you?
So many people have inspired me, actually. Going back to my teenage years, and Bruce Lee, for one. You know, he's an amazing martial artist. I just, you know, really adapted to what he did. And besides that, going back even further, my parents, my father, my brother, both black belts in Aikido of multiple degrees. And so the whole martial arts thing has inspired me, starting with my father, my brother, and Bruce Lee. So.
What about your family? Let's see a picture of Joanne's gorgeous family.
You have a picture of my family?
I have a picture of your family, your daughter, your son, your husband. Are they also into all of this, in the martial arts? And
my husband is. He just, you know, works very hard, so he doesn't have the time to train. I'm fortunate enough to have been able to train for the past 11 years on a professional martial arts level. You know, back from my teens, I just dabbled in a little bit. But really started training when I was about 33, after my son was born, maybe 35, somewhere around there. My kids both have trained. They were testing for, my daughter was testing for her brown belt before she decided she knew it all and didn't need to go any further. So I was like, no. I find that I can't force them to do it, so maybe one day they'll turn around and say, you know what, Mom, we want to do that again, and follow.
well, you've exposed them to it, so now you have to just see what their interests actually are.
Yeah,
you are really fit. I mean, I have to tell you, people want to know, what is Joanne Hutchins' secret for staying so fit? So I'm going to ask you 2 questions. One is, what do you do at the gym or to stay fit? And the second part of it is, what is your daily diet like? Do you eat particular foods to stay this healthy?
Actually, I do isogenics.
Isogenics.
I do isogenics. I've been on the isogenics program since, I want to say, August 1st of last summer. It introduced to me many, many times over the past few years, going with the fitness aspect and being a personal trainer, and at all the conventions that I would go to, you'd have isogenics thrown at you, and I was like, no, I don't want to try that, I do my own thing. So I said, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. I love it. I really do. So I do a shake in the morning. I do a shake for lunch, and then a healthy meal during dinner, 400 to 600.
I'm impressed, but I have to tell you, not everybody knows what isogenics is. And I keep saying I'm going to change my diet, and quite a few people are trying to help me with it. So what is isogenics? I mean, I have a cup of coffee in the morning and toast. Awful.
Yeah, probably. I will tell you about that as we come back after the commercial.
We'll be right back.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC.
The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
When your cable's on the fritz, you get frustrated. When you get frustrated, your daughter imitates. When your daughter imitates, she gets thrown out of school. When she gets thrown out of school, she meets undesirables. When she meets undesirables, she ties the knot with undesirables. And when she ties the knot with undesirables, you get a grandson with a dog collar. Don't have a grandson with a dog collar. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. When your cable company keeps you on hold, you get angry. When you get angry, you go blow off steam. When you go blow off steam, accidents happen. When accidents happen, you get an eye patch. When you get an eye patch, people think you're tough. When people think you're tough, people want to see how tough. And when people want to see how tough, you wake up in a roadside ditch. Don't wake up in a roadside ditch. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
You know this is live, and every so often we have a little bit of technical difficulty. And I really want to pursue this, Joanne, because I've heard so many good things, and you know that you want to get really healthy. The isogenics. I know that during that break you were upset with me because I share with everybody coffee, toast, butter. I have trouble gaining weight and keeping the weight on.
Right.
And that's just as bad as somebody trying to lose weight. So would you just clarify the isogenics, please?
Well, I'll clarify one thing. If you're having coffee and toast, switch your toast to a bagel. It's the worst thing you could ever eat is a bagel, and that'll easily put weight on you. But you know, you might want to add some protein in there too and do some weight training, because build up your muscle that will put on weight for you. Isogenics, you know, I'm not a nutritionist, first of all, so I just tell you what I do and the program that I follow that works for me. Isogenics is really a lifestyle. It was introduced to me actually by my friend Janine Taylor-Stack. I believe you know Janine as well.
Sure do.
Yeah, so if anybody really wants to learn about isogenics, call Janine. She's my coach for that. But it's a meal replacement lifestyle. You have a shake for breakfast. It's all live enzymes, microbiotics in the shakes, I think.
So can people gain weight on it?
Absolutely, yeah, sure. You know, it's a matter of maintaining good nutrition and good health and, you know, good.
And we need to do this. We are mothers. Yeah. We are career people. Yeah. We're busy. We're active all the time.
Yeah.
And we need to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely. And it's very simple, actually. I leave my house sometimes on the run. I take my isogenics or any kind of water bottle, 8 ounces of water, throw the packet of shake in there, shake it up, put some ice in. I even add peanut butter to my chocolate shake, banana in there as well.
How long have you lived this lifestyle?
It's coming on a year.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe it.
Relatively new.
Yes, it is.
I think people would think this is something going on for years and years. So if you could do it, Was it difficult to give up all the other foods that you were tempted by?
You know, people ask me that because people like to chew. And so on the Isogenics program, yes, you have your shakes, but you also have your cleanse days. And what the cleansing is you're not eating solid foods, but you're drinking the 4 cleanses a day. Okay. And what it does is it's a cleanse on the cellular level. So when people hear cleanse, they think colon cleanse. They think they're going to be in the bathroom all day.
That's not it.
Not the case. It's a cleansing on the cellular level from the inside out, and it basically melts away the fat. Your body is surrounded, your organs are surrounded by fat. So by doing the cleanses, by doing the Isogenics program, you're actually melting away the fat around your organs.
Extra piece of advice.
Exactly,
there.
and it's helping to have your body perform optimally, which is what we want.
All right, now we have to get into something that's very near and dear to my heart. I am so excited about something you started 12 years ago, I believe, called Moms Who Kick.
5 years.
5 years ago.
The karate I started 12 years ago.
The karate was 12 years ago. This is 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is a 501c3.
Yes.
And I'd love to have you explain exactly what it is. I know people have been talking about it in Queens, I heard the other day.
Yeah.
So this is getting around. This is really big. Yeah. And please share with everybody.
Well, it's definitely a rapidly growing charity. What started out in 2008, it's kind of funny how it came about. I was training in my dojo. It was after a karate class, and I was involved in a 90-day challenge, which is a Better Your Body Fitness Challenge. So you take your before picture, and then you have 90 days of eating healthy and working out and training and getting your body into really great condition, and then you take your after pictures and you submit them, you know, to hopefully win the contest. I think it was in 2006 I took second place with it. So we're talking now 2008. And I'm showing my after pictures to the ladies in the back of the dojo, and I was clad in an American flag bikini. And the photos were actually taken by a photographer named Art Koch, which I just want to pay some respects here. I just learned yesterday that he had passed away. Yes. So rest in peace, Art, and thank you for all the great work and photography that you've done. And he was actually the Moms Who Kick photographer for the first 3 years. So we just wanted to say that. Absolutely. So I was showing my after pictures, and one of the ladies said, you should make a calendar and send it to the troops in Iraq and raise money for cancer.
Oh, it's wonderful. Idea.
Great idea, but I was laughing because why am I going to make a calendar just because I'm wearing a flag bikini? Who's going to be in this calendar? And so it kind of evolved from that, because my mother had been diagnosed with breast cancer over Mother's Day weekend in 2008. Now, her sister, my aunt, who I've actually never met, who lives in New Zealand, was the first in my family's history to be diagnosed with breast cancer. So when my mother was diagnosed, now we have two members of our family.
Two people in your family.
Yeah, so it increases my risk.
Absolutely.
So what I thought was, well, we could take this calendar idea, and we could take all the women that were in the class with me, most of whom were 40 years and over, great condition, beautiful ladies, just coming in and having fun and kicking butt. And I said, we should make a calendar of martial arts moms.
Oh, what a great idea.
And all the women looked at me. I said, you could be in it, you could be in it, you could be in it. And the women said, no, why do I want to be in it? One woman actually said, an old dinosaur like me? I don't know. And I said, no, are you kidding me? You're in great shape. You kick butt. Let's do this. And so from there it evolved, and the first calendar was produced in 2009, and it was a black and white. I wish I had brought it with me, but you can look at that on my website.
Which is what, your website? And let's show some pictures.
MomsWhoKick.com. Yeah. And the first 2 calendars, we were not a 501c3 charity at the time.
Oh, okay.
We were donating the money to the American Cancer Society for their breast cancer research program. Yeah. And we, I think, got a little bit too big for them. And they said, Joanne, you're doing great. This is a great thing, but we think you should go out on your own because...
Isn't it amazing? That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You put so much into it. And did you ever expect it to take off as it has?
No. No, not at all. It's my job 24/7 now, and 365 days a week I live it. They say charity begins at home. Charity began in my home. It's living in my home. It's taken over and consumed my dining table. My family is like, okay, Mom, when are we eating dinner? And I have to push aside everything and set them up for dinner, and it's.
Well, I'd like to show. It's a beautiful, beautiful calendar, and I know that you are also seeing a few pictures. You're going to see that the pictures are different themes. And it
They
looks
are.
as if
Yeah.
each year the calendar possesses a different theme.
It does.
Do you want to tell us who comes up with these ideas? Because it's amazing.
Well, we have the most amazing graphic artist extraordinaire and our art director, Danielle, and she's just, I'm blessed to have her on board with this project. She's just so creative. The first 3 years, they were black and white, implied topless, and because the photographer actually was a nude photographer, but we didn't want to go that far. We're like, okay, it's a great cause. We'll just cover up.
Cover yourselves up, right.
Yeah.
And don't you think sometimes the illusion is even more sexy than...
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, what do I know? But I think it would be more sexy.
Absolutely. Well, and men have said that to me. They're more intrigued by imagining what's underneath, you know. So, yeah, the first 3 calendars were implied topless, black and white. Then we brought on a new photographer who was Jay Brenner of Brenner Photography, and we did a color calendar, and it was called Strength and Elegance. So what started out with showing everybody in martial arts and women over 40, we realized that we were excluding a lot of women because not every woman is a martial artist.
True.
Not every mom is a martial artist, although
That's
they should know how to defend themselves. Everybody
We're going to try that a little bit later,
Cool.
I promise.
So yeah, the fourth calendar was Strength and Elegance. We showed them in beautiful made up and in evening gowns, and then also in their sport. So let's say one was a tennis player, a golfer, yogi.
Terrific.
You know,
so you're combining both.
all aspects of physical fitness.
I love that.
Yes.
What is your mission statement?
Well, that's it. The mission of Moms Who Kick is to promote physical fitness and proper nutrition in order to lead a healthy lifestyle and avoid cancer if possible.
You have a contest. Do you want to talk about that for the calendar?
Sure. We've run the contest the past 2 years. Basically, opened it up to women of all ages, or I should say moms, because we just did our last contest, which was all moms over 18. But a little bit of a, I don't want to give away the farm here, but we're opening it up because we are excluding a lot of women because not everybody's a mom, and there's a lot of cancer survivors who can't have children.
Absolutely.
So and they've come to me and they've said, "Well, I want to help and I want to be a part of this, but do I have to be a mom?" No, you don't have to be a mom. You could be a man too. Anybody could get involved with Moms Who Kick.
Well, let me ask you this. What is your website so that people can get on there and actually take a look at all this?
Absolutely. MomsWhoKick.com.
Okay, MomsWhoKick.com.
Yes.
And they'll find all the different venues for information. What if someone just wants to volunteer behind the scenes? Not everybody likes to be photographed.
That's true. And you know what's really cool about this project on that note? We run the contest, right? So we get the women, a lot of them are cancer survivors. And when you are a breast cancer survivor, you've had a mastectomy, a lot of your confidence goes depleted.
Absolutely. And
a lot of women don't feel beautiful. But yes, you're still beautiful and you're still strong. And so what we want to get across with the calendar and a photo shoot is it empowers these women. It makes them feel beautiful again. They think, oh, I can't get in front of the camera and do this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And so they get made up and they have their photo shoot, and then we launch it in October with a fashion show. They're like, I can't walk down the runway in front of all these people. I'm like, yes, you can. There is no such word as can't. It's either I'm presently having trouble with, or I'm, at the moment I'm struggling with this. But yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Absolutely. It's all confidence, and that's what the project with Moms Who Kick really brings out with a lot of the women. And then they come off the runway, and they're like, oh my God, that was great. I got to do it again.
The camaraderie, getting together, joining, sharing.
Yeah.
And it really is a sisterhood of sorts.
It is, and I love it because, again, as more women come in each year, new women come in, new friendships are made. And that's really what inspires me the most.
Inspires people. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. I'm just like, oh, wow, this is great.
Do you have any stories from the past which really just got to you that you'd like to share?
Oh, gosh, there's a lot.
Is there anything that comes to mind? I have a tendency, as the former teacher in me, is putting people on the spot.
Yeah,
what
sure.
But is there something that you say, I really have to share this with you? And while you're doing that and thinking about it, may I ask you where the gala is going to be this year, or is that still a secret?
It's not a secret.
Okay.
We're letting little bits out of the bag here. But October 9th is our tentative date. It's not written in stone yet, but it'll be out in Hop Hog. We're looking at a venue called Wall Street. Working with Ed Jacobs, who owns the Wall Street, and doing something a little bit different.
Okay. Last year I spoke at it. And
absolutely, yeah. We still have that. We're still having the fashion show. But what I want to avoid is the big, expensive gala that everybody's doing. You know,
everybody can come to this.
Oh, absolutely.
We want everybody to come to it. It's affordable.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's get back. Is there somebody who comes to mind that you say, you know, when I think of this, this person epitomizes what it was all about and just got to you?
So many. I can't really pinpoint one.
I
can't pinpoint one because every single year has
know
so many dynamic women.
Last year, this.
Okay, well there you go. Now the hair's standing up on my arms.
And that's what I wanted to do.
What we're seeing here, the calendar comes in two parts. It's a wall hanging calendar on one side, and the side that you're showing is the journal side. Okay. That's the calendar wall hanging cover showing the 2013 model moms. And then you flip it over and it becomes a journal. And we have stories, we have tributes on this side. Now, those three ladies that you're seeing there, this is Stephanie's story. Now, these are sister survivors. They're the surviving sisters of Stephanie. Stephanie was 33 years old, and she was supposed to be included in this calendar. About a month before we did the photo shoots, unfortunately, she lost her battle with cancer. What started with breast cancer went throughout her body, became brain cancer, then became bone cancer, and it just took over. And she has Sophia was 2.5 when Stephanie passed away, but Stephanie and her sister, Nicole, the oldest one, both went through breast cancer together. Laura and the other two sisters carried the BRCA gene, so Laura decided,
she would go ahead and
remove everything. Okay. And the younger sister doesn't have the gene, and she's the one that actually adopted Sophia because she has a young child as well.
So the closeness, the beauty, and the magnificence of the name, and forever going on.
Yeah, it's
well, when
touching.
we come back, we're going to see a different side to Joanne. We have a video that's going to surprise you.
Ouch.
Hey, I'm Tom Mealy from the Harrison Law Group. You know, soft tissue injury, that's no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. Don't waste valuable time going to firms who don't get it and can't do it. Call 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC.
The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
One resident describes her horrifying experience when she first realized the complex was on fire.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, I woke up to go give me a cold pop. Then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing. Jesus, I ran for my life. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus on fire. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I want you to see this video of Joanne in action. It scares me. Let's see what you think. Trainers and others as well.
Yeah.
All right, so we have pictures with your trainers. We'll get some of those pictures up. And tell us a little bit about your training. Now, we know your diet, but tell us a little bit about the trainers. What is it like training with them?
I'm training at Glen Cove Boxing Club with Frank Pena and Billy Stragliano, who's I believe, Golden Gloves professional boxer from years ago, and he actually lives in my town. So it's really, really cool. They're fun guys. I love it. It's your real down and out Rocky Balboa gym. It's
great.
I swear that's the way it goes. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if we were able to run that video, I don't know if we had the technical or not, but you'll see the training.
It now, because I want to see what exactly it is that you do that everyone's so impressed with, Joanne. Joanne, let me just also say that Joanne also donates money in addition to cancer care. You donate money for Harvest House.
Island Harvest.
Island Harvest.
Yes.
You donated money for Sandy for the.
Well, that was the Sandy relief. You know,
okay, tell us
Long Island was hit pretty hard, and you know, I'm on the North Shore of Long Island, and fortunately not in a flood zone.
Right.
So many people lost their homes, lost their lives, and there's so many charities out there that you're all after the same dollar. And we have a lot of breast cancer charities. We have a lot of ovarian cancer, any kind of charity you got out there. But we wanted to do something to help Sandy relief. So we hosted a karaoke night fundraiser over at the Coach Grill in Oyster Bay. And we raised $1,200. Everybody came out. Everybody, I can't even tell you, it was really heartwarming.
What a feeling of just togetherness and unity.
Yeah, very heartwarming. People just really want to do the right thing. And they poured out, and wallets opened, and it was really great. Well, you know what? I don't like to say I led them.
Because
you come up with an idea, but you have to come up with an idea, and you just inspire others, and just the energy.
The other thing I want to mention too is that you're also involved in the Long Island Fight
for Charity. Exactly. Yeah.
And I have to tell you that Matt and Jeff, they're coming on the show in a few
cool.
weeks.
Good.
And we hope that we can have you come back. And that's going to be amazing. How's that video? Are we able to get that? All right. We'll have to say that.
All right. Well,
we're going to have you back with them, and perhaps we could show it then. And then when we come back from commercial, we're going to meet with, you're going to stay, Joanne, I hope.
Absolutely.
Greg Bravo and our other very special guest. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Tom Mealy from the Harrison Law Group. You know, soft tissue injury, that's no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. Don't waste valuable time going to firms who don't get it and can't do it. Call 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Huntington Toyota, the experience of a lifetime. Don't take our word for it.
The experience for me at Huntington Toyota made me feel very comfortable.
It's their professionalism, their honesty, and their integrity. I've bought at least 9 or 10 cars here at Huntington Toyota. They give me the best price around.
It never was about high pressure. It never was about them. It was always about us.
Today's cars are very similar, but Huntington Toyota is very different.
Huntington Toyota, where it's all about you.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! He's like, I don't. Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power. Oh, Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power.
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
Ray, I don't know. Are you sure clicking this thing will get us online?
Well, try dragging it.
Faster. You're just a mouse click away from a better way to rent movies. Blockbuster Total Access. Movies through the mail plus movies through the store. One low price.
Here's the problem. We forgot to plug it in.
Oh, don't even think about it.
Get a free trial at your Blockbuster store or Blockbuster.com.
Welcome back to Making a Difference with Gail. And as you can see, we're joined by quite a few people here. We have Shelley Cohen, who is an executive with Greg Bravo's company, AGA, which stands for what, Greg?
Alliance Group Affiliates.
We have Greg. Let me tell you a little bit about Greg before I introduce the handsome gentleman who's next to him. Greg comes from a law enforcement background. He's had over 30 years experience in police work. He's had experience in Scotland Yard. He's a myriad of things, and you're going to share that with us in a moment. And we also have Sergeant Patrick LaPointe, who's from the 82nd Airborne. And he's here, and he has a wonderful honor that he's going to share with us. But let's start with you, Greg. Greg, you know, I asked Joanne before, tell me what has inspired you to make a difference in the lives of others.
Well, what I see is that it came to my attention that there's a lot of veterans returning from the war in Afghanistan and Iraq, and they're committing suicide at the rate of 18 to 22 a day, and there's over 900 attempts a month. There's a lot of programs that they're coming back with PTSD. In my time, during my war, my time was the Vietnam War. You know, you would go for 1 year and come back. You make it out, you're done. These kids, especially reservists, they might go back how many times? 4 or 5 times. It's unlimited.
6, 7.
6, 7. It's like there's no end.
Yeah, and if I can interrupt and say,
who Greg is.
Greg Bravo is not just a guy in law enforcement who is doing things for veterans. Greg doesn't like to talk about himself, but I'm going to make him talk about himself. Greg is a former MP in the Marines. got out of the Marines and decided that wasn't good enough, so he enlisted a Special Forces Green Beret in the Army. Then a captain, right? Was a captain in the corrections, a corrections officer, and then traveled Europe for about 8 years, training Scotland Yard, Interpol, and he
with
also
Homeland Security too.
And he's involved with Homeland Security, and he also holds 2, Greg, black belts and 2 different forms of martial arts.
I'm really feeling protected tonight, guys.
And as somebody who knows him very well, he can kill you before you know you're dead. And he's a very giving person with the veterans. It's not just, and I guess that's where you learned and to give back to the veterans, because you have so much involvement with the military.
You left out U.S. Marshals.
U.S. Marshals. I know I left. There's probably a few other things I left out as well.
I'm sure there's a whole list of different.
But Greg.
Do we have a picture of some of the things that he has been involved in? And I think we do.
I come from a police background.
Background.
My uncle was a homicide detective in Brooklyn. This is actually my 40th year. I started when I was 17. I'm 57
Really?
now. I'm still active law enforcement, park ranger in Suffolk County. And my son is a police detective as well. He's a police detective in New York City. So, but I did notice that a lot of veterans come out and they have PTSD. It's a silent killer. Right. And there's also a lot, it's a bad economy. You know, the economy's been rough for many years. And so I thought that the security guard training and the security guard program we had started would be good for veterans, because it could serve as a stepping stone to other careers, while they're in college, while they're waiting for civil service appointments.
Absolutely.
Or if they want to do a career in security, in executive protection, some of those fellas make over $1,200 a day. So we thought that would be great for the vets. And then we started a Veterans Association under the Alliance Group affiliates Pat's involved with.
Well, Greg, I'm going to stop you for a second because I'd like to see the video of you actually in action. I heard all of this. Can we please see the video, the first one? And you can explain. All right. Greg, we have a few other programs as well. Now, we have the Wounded Warriors, and we also have the Active Shooter. But before we talk about that, you have to introduce the gentleman to your right.
Oh, Patrick came to me as an advanced student for executive protection. Then we vet everybody. We don't just take anybody for that program. Okay. And he's a licensed armed guard. Then I looked at his military history. He's also he's got a college degree. He's got a bachelor's degree in international studies.
International affairs.
International affairs. Then I look on his resume. I noticed he also won the Bronze Star in combat for valor.
The Bronze Star of
Maybe you could tell you something about that.
Heavy, I'd love to hear the story.
Sergeant, we all would like to hear that story, if you would please, and honor us.
Sure. Just a little background on how I wound up in the military. I was a sophomore in college when 9/11 happened. The towers came down in between classes, and they closed school at Albany for the rest of the day. At the end of the year, I hurt myself. I was on the track team. I was not feeling college so much anymore, and I told my parents I was thinking about dropping out and enlisting. They talked me out of it. So I finished my degree with good average. But as I was looking for jobs, this is about 2005, I was thinking about going to law school. I was working as an intern at a law firm, and I just didn't feel like going to school, just to go to school. And on top of that, I was very vocally for the war in Iraq, and then this was 2005, and the war in Iraq was going very badly. So I felt like I had to, I couldn't be for the war and not go. So I enlisted as an airborne infantryman. I did my basic training at Fort Benning, airborne school. I wound up at Fort Bragg in the 82nd Airborne and deployed to Afghanistan. It was January 2007 until April 2008, so that was 15 straight months, which is 3 back-to-back tours if you're a Marine. They do 6 months. So I was in a reconnaissance platoon, and I wound up in a small fire base on the Pakistani border in the mountainous northwest. We were holding open a pass for trade. It's about 100 miles south of the Khyber Pass. It's called the Sgt.Pa Pass. And we were holding it open so that people could bring their goods to market back and forth between Pakistan, because the Haqqani network had owned that pass for a few hundred years, I would say, and they used a tax. They put a tax on all the truck drivers trying to sell grapes and firewood and that type of stuff. So we held it open for them. On 29 September 2007, it was a nice sunny day. We woke up, and our guard tower reported that there was some shooting going on down the road. They were shooting up some trucks that were trying to bring goods to market. So my platoon, 2 Charlie, 4th of the 73rd Reconnaissance Surveillance Target Acquisition, we mounted up and we headed out. We know where the bad guys lived. There's only pretty much 1 or 2 roads out there. As soon as we started driving to their approximate location, we took a close ambush. There was probably 5 trucks with 20 guys in them, and there were probably about 40 to 50 insurgents at very close range. So we managed to bust through the ambush, and we surprised them because the last unit that had been in there was not a combat unit. It was a civil service unit, and they used to just run away. They would shoot and then leave because it wasn't their job to fight. Well, we stayed. We outflanked them. We called in helicopter gunships. We chased them back to their origin point, which is a place called Hill 2314, named for its elevation. 2 Apaches were up there trading fire with some insurgents from the ground. We decided that we were going to go and we were going to help them clear the mountain. So we drove our trucks to an opposing mountain and softened up the hard point, which was actually had gigantic craters on it from when the Russians bombed it. It was from a very similar time period. So after about 20 minutes of bombarding the hill, we decided we would go and check, and we figured that we had gotten them all. So we sent 1 truck with myself, my friend Sergeant Zach Tillier, and Sam Williams was another specialist at the time. That was my rank at the time. So we went up to go clear the ambush. So we got up the mountain fine, but we realized when we got up there that they were actually all still alive. There were 7 of them. So, the shooting started, and we were all, it was very close. It was like 10 to 20 meters. And I had heard my section sergeant, Zach, say, "I'm hit." He yelled it out, and next thing I know, he's tumbling down the mountain. I went over to render aid, but he had been killed instantly. But he didn't suffer, so, there's that. So I held my position. We were actually cut off. Sam and I were on the opposite sides of the hill. So I was kind of remaining with the body while they sent the rest of the platoon came, and everyone they could separated off to come up the mountain. When we got there, the platoon sergeant helped medevac Zach's body to go be medically examined. And that's when there was more shooting on top of the hill. So I was the next ranking guy. And I ran up to the top of the hill and helped coordinate the Apaches and the movements forward to clear the area. Everyone involved with that particular action received some valorous award, including Zach. That was his second Bronze Star for Valor and his second Purple Heart. It was a very shocking thing to be involved with, especially because we had been so successful with no casualties before. We had only really been riding kind of a euphoria of constant victory, and then, suddenly this gets dropped right in your lap.
May I ask to see it? Would you be kind enough? Could we get a close-up of this, please? Look at that. Beautiful. Well, we owe you a debt. You are one of our heroes, and we thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Greg, I'm coming back to you. There's another video. We're going to try one more time. When I was teaching, I used to say to my students, the best lay plans of mice and men often go astray. It comes from a Scottish poet by the name of Robert Burns, and it means you try, and sometimes things just happen. But I would like to try that second one. And the answer is no.
Not happening.
It's not going to happen.
Training video.
Let's try something else. Let's try the other pictures that are available, unless it's the whole video. There are some pictures coming up. And Greg, basically the pictures are of you speaking at a podium, you're with a group, and you're also with the guys training. So what I'd like to ask you right now is, another part of your program is the shooter program as well as the anti-bullying. Would you take a couple of minutes to explain that so that people could get involved and how they can help you with it?
Okay. Well, we have the training school for security guards. It's been licensed by New York State. We take a particular focus on veterans. But we also do consulting. We have people who are former FBI, Secret Service, New York City Police Bomb Squad, Emergency Services. One fellow is a former director of security for Rockefeller Center, including Radio City Music Hall.
Wait, you just said the name. Did I hear the name Martell? Did I hear that name? Because that makes me think of
Vanilla Fudge.
Fudge.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of something else. A song that you used to sing. You were the singer for what group, and what was the name of the song?
The Beatles.
No, I knew you looked familiar. What was the name of it?
I don't really like to talk about it.
What is it? I'm sorry?
It wasn't a real group. Steam.
What was Steam,
Yeah.
and what was the name of the song? I know it went
silly.
na 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 na. Come on.
Hey, hey, goodbye.
Hey, hey, goodbye. I think that's okay.
Did you have pictures of Vince up there?
We actually
one
do
picture of
have
Vince,
one up there.
Yeah,
We
Vince.
actually do.
Vince and I have been working probably 22 years, I'm thinking.
Children we have.
Unbelievable. You're helping children.
yeah.
You do the carols.
Well, we go to the hospital and visit them.
It's fabulous. All
During
right, we'll
the,
be right back because I just want to take the last few minutes. I promise on self-defense. And guys, we're going to come on over there and you're going to see what you can do to help me.
Okay.
Right back.
Beautiful.
When your cable's on the fritz, you get frustrated. When you get frustrated, your daughter imitates. When your daughter imitates, she gets thrown out of school. When she gets thrown out of school, she meets undesirables. When she meets undesirables, she ties the knot with undesirables. And when she ties the knot with undesirables, you get a grandson with a dog collar. Don't have a grandson with a dog collar. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. When your cable company keeps you on hold, you get angry. When you get angry, you go blow off steam. When you go blow off steam, accidents happen. When accidents happen, you get an eye patch. When you get an eye patch, people think you're tough. When people think you're tough, people want to see how tough. And when people want to see how tough, you wake up in a roadside ditch. Don't wake up in a roadside ditch. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. When you pay too much for cable, you throw things. When you throw things, people think you have anger issues. When people think you have anger issues, your schedule clears up. When your schedule clears up, you grow a scraggly beard. When you grow a scraggly beard, you start taking in stray animals. And when you start taking in stray animals, you can't stop taking in stray animals. Stop taking in stray animals. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Ray, I don't know. Are you sure clicking this thing will get us online?
Well, try dragging it. Faster. You're just a mouse click away from a better way to rent movies. Blockbuster Total Access. Movies through the mail plus movies through the store. One low price.
Here's the problem. We forgot to plug it in.
Oh! Don't even think about it! Get a free trial at your Blockbuster store or Blockbuster.com.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
While I am a pacifist, sometimes there is the need to protect oneself. I think the both of you would agree. So
Absolutely.
Joanne, tell me a little bit about that. I'm only 100 pounds, so what can I do?
You could do a lot. Doesn't matter how much you weigh. You know, every woman really needs to learn how to defend themselves. And not just women, men too, young girls, boys, whatever. There are so many things that you can do to defend yourself. And I like to use the acronym of ACT. I know that's out there. Awareness, okay? First of all, we have to be aware. There's a lot of women, men, you see people walking around totally oblivious to what's going on around them. They've got their earphones in, they're on their texting cell phones, you know, and totally oblivious of what's going on.
Okay,
They
so
need to
awareness
be
is
aware. Then you have the confidence, the C, okay? The way you carry yourself, the way you walk, the way you talk to people, you make eye contact, you stand up tall with your shoulders back, your head held high, you know, and you make a point of, there's a difference. When you walk into a room like this, nobody's going to notice you, right? But when you walk into that room, hi, I'm here, you know, look around, how you doing, make the eye contact. People know you're there, okay? So you have the awareness, you have the confidence. Then you have thought. Here's the T. You have to think. If you are attacked or in a situation where you're feeling not so confident, not so, you know, like uneasy, you have that women's intuition. When that intuition kicks in, you have to trust your gut, and then you have to think, okay, well, let's say you're walking down the street, you have a dark alley or bushes, and you're thinking something's up with that, I don't feel comfortable, walk towards the curb. Stay away from that dark alley. You know, or if you see a crowd of kids or a crowd of people, or even just one person alone standing on the street corner, and you just don't feel right, cross the street, turn around, go in the other direction. Avoid the situation. You know, with self-defense, you really want, and Greg, I'm sure you'll agree with this, you want to avoid confrontation. You know, you want to do whatever you can.
You're not looking for anything. You're looking to avoid. So you have ACT, action, confidence, and thought. Would you add to that before we do a couple of moves on me?
Well, in police work, we usually advise, especially women or anybody, again, avoid. You avoid walking in dark areas. Just because you may save some time, you're not going to save it. It's what's your life worth.
That's right.
So don't walk in dark areas. We advise. Could somebody bring me that pepper spray? We brought a special pink one as a gift.
Oh, I love that for
breast cancer. Yeah.
Nice.
Pepper spray. You can buy these anywhere, gas stations, gun stores.
Now this is legal.
Yes. Yeah, the personal size is legal. Carry pepper spray, have it ready. And if you're walking alone at night, you have a cell phone, talk to somebody on the cell phone.
Right.
Keep updating your location. Usually if the bad guys see you on the cell phone, they're probably going to leave you alone because they know you're in touch with somebody who's going to call the police right away. All right, so awareness is a very big thing.
Absolutely.
Well, here, this is your present.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I have to add to that. We have your cell phone, besides your cell phone, you have your keys, right? So your remote. If you are lost in a parking lot, you don't know where your car is, don't you think, where's my car? Hit your panic button.
No.
You know, even keep those keys next to your bed
And
at
maybe be
home.
aware where you left your car. What
Exactly.
are a couple of quick moves that somebody would do? Like if I'm just walking and I'm coming by and I'm oblivious.
Come here, lady. They're going to grab
And what
you
do I
maybe
do?
by your
Right,
wrist.
right.
So you want to look. This is where thought comes in. You have 4 fingers here, and you have 1 thumb. Which do you think is stronger? My 1 thumb or my 4 fingers?
You would think 4 fingers, but
My 4 fingers are stronger.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
weak link is the thumb.
Okay,
So you want to go against the weak link.
Oh.
Okay. So if I've grabbed you like that, you could pull your arm down. Now, if I'm stronger, I've got a good grip. You can take your other hand and you
then-
can push down on that.
Okay.
Push down really hard. Push down. Come on. There you go. So you got out of it. So however that is, let's say I grab you like that. Where's my thumb?
Right here.
Okay. Where did you push down? Now you're going to pull up. So you're going to come underneath and pull it up.
Pull it up.
Pull it up. You just got out of that.
You
so
really
that's easy.
have to do that. Well, okay.
Now, also think of this: your body is stronger than your arm. So if
Right.
you're being pulled away and you can't get away, rather than pulling away from it, come in, and now pull yourself out of it. Right.
And
So now get that other hand underneath and lift it up.
I'm afraid I've heard it, but
Let's just say you can't get out of there.
Correct.
Think, all right, where's all my attention? It's right here.
Right.
What do I have that are targets that you could hit? Your eyes. Now, a lot of women or people think, oh, let's do this, 2 eyes.
Right. No.
Well, you stack your fingers, or a 4, or whatever, because that's
Right.
stronger than the 2.
That's a weapon.
And you go right in their eyes.
And you have a weapon.
Boom. Now that person who's grabbed you is like, oh, my God, I just got poked in the eye. And they're probably going to let go, in which case you should turn and run away.
And run. Okay.
Unless you really want to do more damage, and then you could give them a cerebral hemorrhage by doing a palm heel strike up to your nose.
Okay.
And that's a lot of fun
Well,
with that.
that's it for tonight. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I think we should continue this on self-defense. A very important issue. Let's say goodbye, and I'll see you next week. Mwah.